Okay, so map testing window is finally winding down. Okay, so now you'll see a lot more reports populating in the NWEA database. And I want to make sure that you are a little bit more intentional about what you do now to align your interventions with what actually with what you anticipate for each student each student by the end of the year based on their projections. So I know a lot of you are already thinking in this arena because you are looking at TIA and making sure that you have your student progress accounted for in order to um, qualify for TIA this year. However, the benefit is so much more far-reaching. What I would love for you to do, and I'm showing you an example here, is to take a look at your students' goal-setting worksheets once you have the winter assessments populated, and start having conversations with your students about what they need to do between now and the next time they test in order to meet their projected proficiency. So I've pulled this student here, and I am looking at the, in language arts, this student has already surpassed their projected proficiency for the end of the year. It doesn't mean that they're safe. So what you will need to do with this student is to have a conversation to where you say, hey, you've already met your projected proficiency. However, if we do not continue with enrichment, there's a likelihood that you could fall back. So I would like for you to complete this many lessons each week in Education Galaxy, or this many lessons each week in Imagine Learning. But what I want you to pay attention to is the goal performance area lists the genre, so to speak, or the focus areas for the test. So as you're going into the platform like Education Galaxy, you can actually align I almost said PD, align the practice for this student or the enrichment for the student so that they can maintain their level of growth in the areas for author's purpose and craft. So think about those TEKS for author's purpose and craft, multiple genres, and then those foundational skills with vocabulary. So those are some things that you can already go in and determine or prescribe for this student for additional practice. So you would meet with the student and say, for your action plan, you're going to complete this many lessons each week or this many minutes each week, reading on Mayan, reading on going into Imagine Learning, Imagine Literacy. For math, you'll notice that he is 3 points away. Y'all, that's workable. This student can actually meet their projected RIT if you go in and align what they're doing in your classrooms with that outcome. So the same thing, looking at the goal performance area, you'll see that their projected performance was for the fall, they're actually at between 205 and 217, but they fell back a little at winter. So numerical representations and relationships, you can go into Education Galaxy. Y'all use Education Galaxy because you can go in and align and prescribe for them what their actual practice should be. So that little bit of time will actually pay dividends for the students if they're aligning the work during that time with an actual outcome. So that's something you can do to help the student to sharpen that yellow area so that it's green by the time they test at the end of the year. So this is something real quick to so you can kind of see how to align what you do during your time with an actual outcome. This is actionable and doable. So just be mindful of that as you're planning for time, planning for intervention, but we will start meeting with our students to start planning for the end of the year map. Okay, so this is just a quick focus on what that will look like.